Dear students, a very good morning to you all. And so today we are going to discuss about the different ways of life, that is chapter 5 social science in class 6. Class 6 social science chapter 5, that is the topic is that different ways of life. Now different ways of life mean we know that we have a different ways of life. There are many people in this world, there are many people in our country too. So, but then each one of us, everyone are living different way. Okay, the way of the process of earning money, the process of our what to say, cultivating. Okay, whatever may be, we are different. We are not equal. The same thing today in Indo, we are going to discuss about the Indo-Aryans. Indo-Aryans mean they are the group of people. Indo-Aryans mean they are the people. Okay, the people. They were the first people who entered in India after the decline of the Harappan civilization. And now they were the nomadic people who live in the northeast Iran, okay, or Central Asia. And therefore, they came to India and they settled in India, okay, at the time. So, when they came to India, okay, the name of the place where they lived, that is Asia, Europe, okay, Western Asia, and they migrated, okay, they migrated a place like India search greener pasture, okay, and they what to say, when they got a shelter, okay, when they started making a shelter, and after slowly, gradually, their population had been also increased, and therefore, since their population have been increased, and so the main food, the sources of the main food is depleted in the steppe region of this southern Russia. Now, Aryans in the Sapta Sindhu. Aryan in the Sapta Sindhu. What's happening in this? Okay, now we have discussed about the Indo-Aryans. Indo-Aryans mean they are the group of people, okay, came in India. They were the first people who came in India. And when they came to India, they lived a place in India like Europe, okay, Europe, Western Asia. This is the place where they lived at the time. And so, now, what's about Aryans in the Sapta Sindhu? Aryans first arrived in India in around, that is 1500 BC, when the Harappan civilization had largely declined. So after that, they came to those persons have arrived in India. That is 1500 BC. So they first occupied the region of Sapta. They are the first people who occupied the place Sapta Sindhu in India. There is a place name, there is a name of the place in India, Sapta Sindhu, and the Aryans people were the first, okay, occupied in this place. So they named this region of seven rivers as Brahmavarta. They named this place. They were occupied a place that is Sapta Sindhu, and again after that, when they lived there, they named the place that was Brahmavarta, which means the land of God. They considered the place the land of God, and settled there from 1500 BC to 1000 BC. Okay, after occupying the place, they lived there from 1500 BC to 1000 BC, as I said earlier. The Aryans people arrived around 1500 BC in India, and they started living there. They occupied a place that is Sapta Sindhu, and then they named the place Brahmavarta, and they started living there from 1500 BC to 1000 BC. This period was called early Vedic period. Okay, remember this period they have called, that is early Vedic period or Rig Vedic period. In the history of India, Rig Vedic period, the main source of information regarding this. Okay, now, and Aryans in the Gangetic Valley. In the next period, Aryans moved into the region of Gangetic Valley. See that they occupied the Sapta Sindhu, and they named the place as Brahmavarta. And they lived there from 1500 BC to 1000 BC. And after that, they started moving. They moved from that place, Brahmavarta to which place? that is a Gangetic Valley, okay, and settled there from 1000 BC to 600 BC. They renamed this land as Aryavarta again. Okay, wherever they live, they name the place. Okay, they don't want the old name which have been named. So, but then those people, where they move from this place to another place, when they live there, they will name another new name like that. So, and therefore, from Brahmavarta, they lived there from 1500 BC to 1000 BC, and they migrated from this place to Gangetic Valley. Okay, Gangetic Valley, and again, the name is already there. The name is already existed. The name of the place where they have migrated, that name is Gangetic Valley. But soon after they arrived there, again they started rename the place, that is Aryavarta, which means the land of Aryans. Again, Aryans means there's a people. Okay, the group of people. So again, first they named Brahmavarta, which means that is the land of God, and now Aryavarta, again the land of Aryans. Initially, the Ravidya has not a written form of past orally. Okay, now, land of Aryan, in the history of India, this period was known as the later Vedic period. In the history of India, this land they name as or they known as this is a later Vedic period. Okay, Aryans are believed to have developed the Sanskrit language. They introduced it in India. Sources. Now, two sources are available. Okay, two sources are available as to study the Aryan culture, literature, and the archaeological. We have two sources to study about these Aryans available. Okay. Now, literary Vedas. The first one is literary Vedas. Vedas were sacred texts in the Aryans. Okay, the word Veda has been derived from the word wheat. Okay, Vedas. Vedas is a word derived from the word that is wheat, which means knowledge. Knowledge means we know, everyone knows what is the meaning of knowledge. Okay, so they were first composed verbally and passed down from generation to generation over hundreds of years. Okay, so the four Vedas are Ravidya, Drupja, Samudra, and Atharvaveda. So remember this. Aryans were the first people who entered India and settled there. Okay, and when they settle the place, they will just name the new name. Okay, now finally they name a land, that is Aryan of land. Okay, land of Aryan. So now they settled there. So they started living there, and then getting and now in prayers which were offered to several gods like this. So when they settled that place, when they left this place, what they did, they started praying. They started praying there. Okay, they made they have several gods. Okay, they have several gods like Agni, Indra, and then Varna and Surya. These are the gods of Aryan people. Now initially the people were being there and then living there for a long time, and Ravidya was not in the written form, but it passed orally, and knowledge passed in the way is called Shruti. Now Yajurveda is a collection of hymns and rituals which were recited and performed. Okay, performed where worshipping gods, offering sacrifice to them. Now Samaveda is also the Veda of melodies and chants. It contains tunes, and so those are people who were living there. They made several gods, and then they made several gods like Agni, Indra, Varuna, and Surya. And the Brahmas give the explanation of Vedic. So therefore, those are the people who came first in India, and they settled there, and they started dividing the groups. They started dividing the groups, and they started learning the process and the way of what they are doing.